Homelite lawnmower, John? How long has it been since you've seen something like that?
Wow. Look at that, you guys.
A Homelite lawnmower.
Judging by that hole in the hood, the gas tank was right there and you'd fill it up through that.
Okay.
Looks like it's got a K-series.
That's what I'm guessing. John.
No, it ain't no K-series. It looks like a Briggs. Yeah, it's a Briggs. Looks just like the one that guy showed us when we dropped the 140 off.
It opens. PTO's not froze up.
Drive shaft.
It's hydrostatic. That or a real clutch.
I don't see a clutch pedal on it. That looks like a hydrostatic lever right there.
That?
Yeah.
Could be. There's a pedal over here, probably the brake.
If it's hydrostatic, it'd be awesome if it was a hydraulic lift too. That's not, well, that might be stuck.
Kind of neat, isn't it?
It is actually. It is really cool. I don't know if it's something I'd want.
It'd just be neat to have it restored.
Right.
Oh, it still has the gas tank.
Yeah, I see that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Should I get it?
Yeah, should we buy this? Just for the neat factor and restore it?
I think
also, give us some information because the hood looks red and that's obviously been blue.
And it's missing the wheels. Looks like it takes a 5.
And it's white inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Missing the gas cap.
Inside of here. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Needs a new steering wheel. It looks the same as the 200 series though. Well,
Yeah,
not
does.
200 series,
Cap is a little bit different. The 68 112.
Yeah, the one that's on there. He did end up bending this when he got it. It looks.
Yeah, I see that.
It shouldn't be too hard to bend back. It's just those.
Yeah.
This didn't get bent. It's these. But see, hydraulic system set up here.
Looks like the
Oil.
relief valves right there.
Oil cooler.
Yeah. What's that there? The where you fill it?
I don't know. It's some kind of plug. I ain't got a flathead.
Wonder what. That belt doesn't drive it, does it? Or is that a. Because I thought this was shaft driven back.
It is, look. Unless they have a.
Not a K series,
No,
that's a Briggs.
No, it isn't.
Could it be a
No,
Wisconsin? I wonder if it's a Wisconsin. I can't. Briggs.
12 horsepower. Briggs and Stratton.
So it's a T12.
It might be a Briggs and Stratton. Yeah, that's
It
what
looks
said.
like a Briggs.
It looks
Yeah,
like.
right
This
there's
is only
a-
supposed to go up to here.
So I bet you there's a gearbox under there or something. I don't see a pulley for it though.
Look at this. This side's open.
Right here's a tag.
Look,
I see
that's
that.
open. This. It must have been optional shifter.
I saw that.
Anything in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's.
You don't need a generator.
It's supposed to have a generator.
Yeah.
Look at all the adjustments for the dang seat. You can set it offset either way. That's cool.
Yeah. That's what you need when you're out plowing.
What the heck? This doesn't do nothing. Oh,
What is it? Does
I
that
think that's
hold
the latch.
It is? I'll bet you that is.
I
Holds
bet you
the.
it latches onto something over here somehow.
It probably.
Let's see where it sits. Well, it's bent, so we won't be able to see. Dang it.
Yeah.
Here's a spring. It's loose on one end. Two. Wait a minute.
What do you
Wait a
see?
minute. It's a 5-bolt hub with an extra hole.
That's weird. Are they?
Maybe it could be 3-bolt also.
It doesn't.
5-bolt lines up with 3-bolt.
It's not on that
Could
side
be.
over there, is it?
Yeah.
That's
It
got a
is?
Both
steering
sides.
oil thing.
I bet you they had it set up for 3.
Were all 3 bolts like that, not a perfect triangle? Because with that one, it makes a perfect triangle.
Oh, with that bolt? It
Yeah.
does?
Yeah, it
Oh, it
does.
does. Huh. Could be actual triangle then. Don't know.
Must have been 2 different types of tire rims for it.
Could have been. That way you could put other rims on it, but
Do you think this has points on it? Or if it has points, I'll bet you they're probably under the flywheel.
yeah. Look at this teeter-totter.
Actually, hold on a minute.
Look, there's a teeter-totter. Show it on.
Now them right there,
You don't have to be.
they may not be underneath the flywheel. These might be the points right here.
Somebody done bent that open. That's supposed to be the thing to clip on.
I see that.
Does the camera see?
Yeah, they see it.
I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
For those of you who don't recognize this tractor, this is the one that we saw at that parts yard, that Homelite.
It's a 1972 T12 with a 12 horse. We think Briggs.
I think it is a Briggs. It said
No, it doesn't exactly look like
Right
Briggs,
here.
but it says it. It looks like.
Briggs and Stratton. This is a Briggs. That one tractor I had brought here to look at, no oil.
Start crying, no oil. It's dry as a bone, even after being hauled.
So
I don't like.
we have confirmed it is a T12 by 12 horse right there, because the
And
T12s were
it says
12.
right here.
Oh, it does?
I mean, you can kind of make out. I can make out a 12 and a T
Yeah, I see that
if
now.
you look real close.
Unfortunately, somebody has been at this decal, though.
Oh, you can make it out more clear over here.
You can.
That is a Briggs.
That is a Briggs.
I guess so. It says it.
It's a pretty big Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Never seen a Briggs that looks like that.
that
Get 'em in real
guy.
close. You can see the T here, and then 1, 2. Can you
Yeah.
all see that on camera?
I
Oh
think
yeah,
they
they
can.
can.
Yeah. So what do you think of it? Did I make a mistake or?
Yes.
I didn't ask you.
What do you think of your purchase, John?
$30.
Waste of money.
Who asked you?
Should have got a John Deere.
He has some.
I got a whole bunch of John
Need
Deere's.
more.
it going? This has to be the tractor that I get the most questions asked about, you know, ever since I've owned it. This is my Homelite T12. This was actually the 5th one ever built in 1972. 1972 was actually the only year they ever made these Homelite T12s, believe it or not. Previously on the channel, and I'm pretty sure that you guys probably saw a montage of when I saw this tractor first, when I bought it, when it came home, when I unloaded it, and looking over it at the beginning of this video, just, you know, going over it and seeing things about it and what it needs. I get a lot of questions about this tractor. Like I said, it gets the most questions out of every tractor I own because I guess it's so rare and nobody has really ever seen a Homelite garden tractor. I get asked when I'm going to get it going, and I have people that come in here buying stuff off of me who look at it and ask me questions about it, and I talk to them about it. What it basically is it's basically a Simplicity. I am trying to think of what model it is. I had found it, and I almost bought one, you know, for a parts tractor, but I never got around to it, and it was gone the next time I looked. So it's a Simplicity. I can't think exactly what it is. What I believe it is I think Homelite contracted Simplicity and asked, you know, can you make us some tractors? And I think they started doing that, and the Homelites were a flop, so they ended up discontinuing them, you know, not making them anymore. So previously on the channel, we got into this Homelite. I'm just going to go on ahead and give a quick rundown of everything that has happened to it. I bought it at a salvage yard. I actually bought my 312 from the same place. We also bought, or my brother has a Sears that he bought from over there. He's got a Deutz Alice he bought from over there, and he's got a Cub that he bought from over there, which I'm probably going to end up buying that Cub. So stay tuned for that. We got a majority of the tractors from there running and driving. However, this is currently the only one that really has not been looked into. All the tractors from there have had work put into them, or they've been gotten running. This one, on the other hand, hasn't. It's been more or less sitting. Unfortunately, it really never got what it needed. You know, I don't know the full story behind it, but I'm kind of piecing it together. The engine has no oil in it. My thought is, I wonder if somebody bought it, you know, went to restore it, and they had took the engine apart, rebuilt it, put it back together, stick it in the tractor, didn't get the chance to put oil in it, and they unfortunately passed away. And after they passed away, it ended up going to a salvage yard after sitting. I'm guessing this tractor has probably sat 30 years or more, maybe even 40, you know, with the way it looks and how things are on it. It is currently missing the angle, the gearbox in here that angles the belt, or that takes the, I didn't expect that, that takes the angle that does this. The gearbox that goes right there, the right angle box, that's what it is, that goes there, is missing. So right now, that's currently the only major thing about this tractor at the moment that I'm missing. The engine does turn over. Like I said before, it has no oil in it, so it's kind of a 50-50. Hopefully, it's just somebody bought it, went to rebuild it, never got around to it, and never put oil in it. Or, worst case scenario, someone ran it out of oil and it blew a rod. No compression that I have found. The engine does turn, like I said. If I can get, let me put you guys in the stand real quick. So let's see if we can get this motor to turn. Let me bring you guys back. Let's see if we can get this motor to turn and if it has compression. I was turning it yesterday. Yeah, see, it does turn. You know, it doesn't feel like it has any compression, so we're probably going to have to take the cylinder head off. The plug is tight, you know, so there you go. And like I said, it's got no oil in it. And if you also notice, look how clean this dipstick is. So it must be pretty clean inside that block, which if that's the case, that's good. you know, from sitting there over the years and getting condensation, you know, I can imagine that formed inside that block. So I guess the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go on ahead and pop that head off, and we're going to see what's going on inside of the engine, if we got a stuck valve, or if a mouse nest is in there, or if the rod is blown, which it could be a possibility at this point. Maybe the rod blew, and that's what parked it, which I don't see any evidence in the block anywhere of a rod being blown. So if the rod blew, hopefully it's just inside the engine and it's laying in the oil pan. Like I said, you know, this tractor's been sitting for a number of years, and I'm not exactly sure at the moment why it was parked. So just making guesses. So apparently the memory in my phone filled up on me. I'm not exactly sure where you guys left off. These two bolts right here were loose. I got all the head bolts out of it. These two were short. These were loose. The rest of them seemed fairly okay. When I took these two out, they were a little bit of a pain to get out. They seemed like they were tight on the threads, so it makes me wonder if somebody cross-threaded it or something at some point in time. So let's get this guy out of here. And after we get this guy out, we can take this shroud off. And after that shroud comes off, I also noticed these two didn't have washers. So whether that's something we need to be nervous about or not, I don't know. Oh, look at that. That popped right off. That makes me scared. Okay. We got a piston. The bottom of the head looks okay. It doesn't look terrible. It definitely ran. So here's the big question. Oh, good. The piston moves. Awesome. That's what I was nervous about, was I was wondering if the piston would move or not. Let me grab, oh here, you guys can't even see. The piston moves, you know, which is good. So that's definitely something to be happy about. So yeah, cool. Damn it. Hold on a second. I gotta adjust my vice grip. That's better. There we go. So the piston does move up and down, which is good. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. I was kind of worried at first. I thought, well, maybe I wonder if the piston rod blew, you know, which would have been a possibility. The rod may have went, you know, and that's why it was parked. Especially since there was no oil in it. However, it looks pretty clean for the most part. The board don't look terrible. I can definitely say I've seen worse. You know, let me grab a light. It doesn't look like it has any cross thatching in it. However, maybe it does. No. No, that looks fair. Whoa. There's a mouse nest right there. I don't know how I never noticed that. I'll have to get that took care of. Yeah, it's fairly dirty inside of here. There's a mouse nest in this shroud right here, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Both valves move, which is good. Let's get this head gasket off. Yeah. Doesn't look like the head gasket blew out anywhere. No. It probably would have, looking at this side right here. It probably would have blown. So, there you go. Let's take our towel, and we're gonna have to pull that nest out. Start digging. Ew. Yeah. It doesn't smell. I've never noticed a smell, and I've never seen anything come out of here, so I mean, I don't know, maybe nothing's in it. Anybody home? Poking around in here. Well, there's the coil. Usually them little bastards will end up eating your coil wire if you run into them. Oh God, now it smells. Now that I've gotten into it, I'm noticing the smell. Oh man, that is packed. They really got in there good, didn't they? So more than likely the engine's gonna have to come out to get this, because I don't think you can remove this shroud from the engine without taking the engine out, or at least taking off the drive shaft, you know. No wobble in the piston. That's good. That means that it might have a little bit of life left in it. Yeah, no wobble. So that means it might have good rings. We gotta get the cylinder wiped. There is a lot of dirt in that cylinder. So here's where we're currently at on this Homelite. I took a vacuum and I vacuumed out the front shroud. I also went ahead and cleaned up the top of the piston. I didn't see any markings or anything in it, so I'm not sure. It's probably a standard bore, I would guess. It's probably even the original piston. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on ahead and adjust the valves. We're going to go on ahead and we're going to adjust the points, or at least just check the points and see what situation they're currently in. I have them open right now. They do open and close like they should. As you can see, they do move, which is good. And the push rod coming out of the engine block still opens and closes them as it's supposed to, so that's good. So we can go ahead and we can check them. I believe they should be at 20 thousandths. I'm not sure if this engine uses the style of if it has current that goes to the coil, or if it's like the rest of the Briggs that I've worked on and it just has a solid state ignition where the coil generates spark and it goes through here. That's kind of what I'm thinking it is, but I'm not fully 100% sure. I might actually want these ones to check it since they're angled. And they could probably get in there a little bit better. Like I said, I believe that these are set at 20. I don't really know how to adjust these if they're out of adjustment, so we'll have to. They're a little bit smaller of a gap than 20, however, how would you adjust it? Probably, I don't know. There would have to be, oh, probably this right here. That's probably how you adjust it. Just trying to scratch them right now to get some contact, you know, between the two surfaces. That way it'll spark. Just grab myself a piece of sandpaper. It's not really that fine of a, or it's not really that coarse of a grit. It's more or less fine. We're gonna just do some sanding. And then we'll go to the other side and do some sanding also. There we go. They don't look too bad, hopefully. thought I had seen spark come off of it. And I thought, there's no way it just sparked. I thought I had seen it. It might have been a piece of dirt or something, because the flywheel's not moving, so it shouldn't have sparked. I'm not sure if the plug in here is any good. It wouldn't surprise me if it is, because usually spark plugs don't tend to go bad. Done that. Like so. There we go. Move that around some to get some contact area. I doubt it'll spark, you know. I didn't figure. It was kind of a, well, I thought I had seen one, like I said, so let's just see if it does anything. I'm gonna grab a rope and I'm gonna wrap it around that flywheel. So here's an update, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull the engine. I wanna get into that front shroud anyway, and I wanna check a few things, so I figured we might as well just go on ahead and pull the engine, and while we have the engine out, I can chuck it up to a drill and we can see if, you know, things are working like they should, you know, spin it over with the drill. If it spins like it should, well, then that means that everything's fine. If it doesn't, well, then we need to figure out why. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's just gonna make things a lot easier in my opinion. So let me get you guys set up. I might put you in a time lapse. I guess we'll see. It just depends on how long it takes. And once I get this pulled out of the frame, we can set it up on the bench and see where it goes from there. And maybe while we're looking into things, we might see if we could fit a Kohler into it just for, you know, a backup engine. Time lapse. So here's this Briggs. I haven't done anything to it since I got it out of the tractor, except, you know, the typical just spin it around, you know. It's really all you can do with it at this point. Let's get it up on its face, on its back. Oh man, that is a sad sight. Yeah, this thing's got some rust. Briggs and Stratton. 12 horse. I wonder if I could clean up these decals. May save them, maybe. Let me grab a 7/16 socket. Let's see if we can get that front off. I was trying to get these off here earlier, but I couldn't get them while it was sitting in the frame, you know, so it made it difficult to get on them. However, now, since it's sitting here, we can hopefully get them out easier. Probably want to ratchet instead of that. Yeah, they're just busting. I wonder if that's a different engine completely. The things inside of it are breaking. Yeah. Inside the shroud, there's little holders in there. They're just basically busting. So this isn't being held in by anything anymore, you know. And it appears the plate behind the flywheel is welded to it. Man, this thing's rough. I definitely think it's savable, however, but you know, like I said, it's rough. Let's see if we can get these out of here. No promise on them coming out. I don't think they will. What we should do, actually, there's a bolt exposed on the PTO side. We could stick actually, we could find out if the engine has spark, now that we're thinking about that. See if it has spark or makes any, you know, funny noises that it shouldn't. I'm kind of wondering if how bad this thing's going to be and how much it's going to need done to it in order to get it to work again. So we can see, I can see the plug. I'll tell you guys if I see any spark on it or not. Let me grab a socket. I want to say probably a 5/8 is what we would need for getting this. Okay, maybe 9/16. But we'll just grab a socket, you know, and then we'll throw the socket on there and throw this in a drill and see if the drill should, with no problem, spin it over. But we want to see if it sparks, you know. And I just now thought about it. There's no oil in that motor, so we're gonna have to be pretty careful, you know, how much spinning we do with it, because we really don't want to damage it, especially if it's going to be potential runner, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. We will take it easy though. So with that being said, let me throw the socket in here. Let's get tight on this. Just get it fast enough to see. I don't see nothing coming from the plug. So what could it be in that situation? It could be the plug, it could be a few things. So looks fine. cam. You hear that? And I don't see nothing from that. It sounds like it's down in. Yeah, I noticed a funny noise earlier when I was looking at it. Let's see, where do we want to go from here? It probably wouldn't hurt to, let's just try a different plug first before we condemn that one. Killing my drill. Yeah, this poor thing has lived a rough life. All right, I want to stop before any dust gets in here. So we need to get into it. I know that plug tested fine when I tested it before. So yeah, that tells me that we need to dig into it a little bit further. However, I'm not exactly sure how to get that shroud off there, except for killing those screws. However, we might just have to kill them screws, sadly, because I don't have any more, and I doubt they're going to come out. See, it didn't make noise there. It's at the top. I'll bet you it's the cam. Let's just do one more cycle with it. Try and think where I want, how far I want to get into this. You know, I don't know how far I want to get into this engine because I don't know what the situation is. This looks fine. You know, that's got no wobble to it or nothing, but like I said, it had no oil in it. You know, maybe moving it around may or may not have stirred a little bit up. Nothing. Still. You know what we could try? We could do this for a minute and just see if nothing registering, anything come out. No, nothing, not a drop. Okay. I wonder, that makes me suspicious that it had a knock. Just saying. You know, maybe it had a knock at one point in time and that's why they just decided to go on ahead and park it. Let's grab a pair of vice grips. That's how I'm going to take those off because there's no way in hell them are going to come off. Well, unless you beat on them. Or in the way of finding things, you find the absolute correct pitch of bit that'll fit into it. Those are Phillips bits. Well, maybe that one. Maybe. We'll keep that one in mind. Let's try the next size up. That one might be the ticket, actually. Let's try it and see what it does. We want this to loosen. No. That's not going to do it. No. Yeah, it's just going to pop out. Let's try the next one. No, it's just going to walk right out of them. Maybe we could try a... Oh, it's in the breather. Wonder when that came out. I wonder if that came out when I started spinning it over. Yeah, I was going to say the head probably broke off. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to go. Let's try this one. Yeah. Let me grab a pair of vice grips. We'll see. Well, I grabbed myself a pair of vice grips. I seriously doubt they're gonna come loose. They'll probably all lose their heads, you know, more than likely. Like that one did. The one let go. Yeah, that one broke too. And again, it's full of mouse piss, you know. What do you expect? No, that one broke too. Well, last one. Let's just make it count. We'll break it. Ready? And again, you gotta remember this tractor sat outside before I bought it for however many years, you know, so I almost expected it to break. Did that turn? No, I'm going to tighten that. Yeah, that one broke too. That's not what I was hoping to see, that all of these had things on them, but unfortunately they don't. That looks like 1/2 inch. Yeah, that looks like 1/2 inch. Let's grab a 1/2 inch socket and we'll get them pulled out of there. Where's the... I had a 1/2 inch socket. Step. Try this one. No. It almost looked like it wanted to spin this one. I was going to say, I thought I had saw that one go. Let's give this one another shot. So we need to find a way to keep that from... this is that one. I gotta throw this one away. get this thing to quit moving, that would be great. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't do that. But this has already got busted screws in it, you know, so. Ow. I want a thicker or thinner socket. This one's a little bit long. Although actually, I think if we were to put a rag in there, it would give enough to push on it, you know, and maybe it wouldn't bust it all off. I don't know, let's see what that does. Maybe that'll save us some trouble. Or maybe we'll throw a rod. I don't know, I thought about it, and I know for a fact somebody out there is probably saying, well, why don't you just put the head back on it and put a sock in it and see what it does. What is that? There it goes. Now it sits on there tight. I was gonna say, why is it not moving? Also, there was a couple bolts on there that were loose that I noticed. I think I know why. I think they were loosened because they went to take that generator off. That's probably the exact reason why those ones were loose. Oh, actually, there was a short one over here, I believe. Yeah, there was a short one right there. So these two are mixed up. Oops. I'm not going to physically crank them down as tight as they'll possibly go. I just want it in there tight, you know, that way it doesn't. That's probably even too tight, honestly. Let's just throw this on here. Let's see what it does. Ready? Maybe it'll do what I want. Oh, good. Yes, it is. That or we're bending the rod. Cool. I think that just broke. Did it just break or? Yeah. Shit. Oh well. So, how hard will this be? Actually, luckily, it actually doesn't look like it broke too far in. I could probably still get it out with the wax scrapers. There's always the this way, I guess. These were 9/16, correct? What went in here? Both of them appear to be. Yeah, I'm gonna take these out and grab correct size bolts. They should fit in there. If they don't, I'll make them fit. I got this puller to mount on here. It looks kind of, however, hopefully it should work. Let's throw this on. Look at that, we got it. I kind of figured that's how it was. All right, so with that being off of there now, we can if we could get these bolts to come out. I felt like it had a lot of play. Let's get a vice grip on that and see if we can get it to hopefully loosen. Maybe it will, maybe, probably more than likely it won't. Just enough force on. Oh, look at that. Yes. Okay. So how come before it wouldn't turn? Weird. I really don't want to take the flywheel off. That's not what I'm under here to do. I'm under here just to get to the coil. However, there was a few other things I wanted to look at. So that's kind of why we're into it this far. That ain't no good no more. What's the camera at? Cool. Let's see. I'm almost tempted to say this is probably a good point to go on ahead and stop recording. And just stop for now and, you know, get another video filmed on this. But I think that's probably where we're going to end up going. And I'm trying to get these to come off without having to break the screws. And unfortunately, it's not exactly separating like I want it to. All right, well, you know what? I think I'm going to go on ahead and just end the video here. I'm not sure exactly how much footage I have on working on this tractor. If I end up doing any more to it, I'll go on ahead and add it into the video. However, I think right now we are to a good enough point where we could just go on ahead and stop and get another video made on this one. So I think that's going to be it for today. This is currently where we're at right now with this thing. Hopefully here soon we might be able to get it going again. I'm not gonna say it'll run again, you know. However, we might be able to at least get the engine running. So that's kind of where we're at with it for now. I also noticed underneath of the engine there's quite a bit of nice blue poking through still, so that's nice. So, all right, guys. Well, I want to thank all you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Finally getting into this Homelite after it sat there in the front of the shop now for 2 years. Well, I've had it around here now for 2 years and I haven't gotten into it yet. So there you go. I'm trying to think of when I bought this. I think I bought it sometime actually this month. Yeah, sometime this month or last month. 2 years ago I bought it. So I thought that was kind of neat. And now we're finally getting into it after owning it 2 years. It should have already been running by now. All right, guys. With that being said, I want to thank all you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.